So, in my first episode, we talked about a spiritual awakening and those phases that comes with it. What you come to realize with your spiritual awakening is that we're all kind of damaged. We're all going through something. And the next way to go about your spiritual awakening is to start taking care of yourself, right? Like when you need to be seen by your doctor, you go to the doctor and you get your prescription. But what about the pain that has no prescription to really heal you? I mean, doctors will prescribe you a pill to numb the pain, but how do we actually heal? Today I have with me Delaney Joyce. She happens to be one of my best friends, and she is also a healer through massage therapy. So we're going to dive a little bit into that and some of our other conversations that we just always have with each other. Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Laniz and welcome to Soulfull. This is a space that'll help you unfold the tools within you to align with your highest self through shared experience. Because at the end of this journey unique to oneself, we are all interconnected. We are one.
So, what actually drew you to massage therapy to even begin with?
To be honest with you, it really just felt like a calling. I mean, since I was a kid, I was massaging my mom's feet, even my grandma's feet, and honestly, like seeing the stress come off of them, just seeing them happy afterwards, like feeling great, just by doing something super small,
Mm-hmm.
My mom always told me, like, oh, you got strong hands, like, I want you to be a massage therapist. So it didn't really click to me until probably after high school, after high school, graduated, went to school, and I was actually going to be in dental assisting. I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this class for dental assisting. Sorry. And, but then, like, the school told me about these other programs, and when they said that they had massage therapy class,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that sounds more like me,
It just felt right.
It felt, yeah. I was like, me being able to give back to people
Mm-hmm.
through something that, they want to come to you for,
Mm-hmm. So you felt that at a young age?
Yeah.
Like wanting to help others?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's crazy because, as a kid, you're lost, you're like, what am I going to do? You don't really know what to do when you go out into the world. I mean, people tell you, like, oh, you're going to be, like, a doctor or, like, business owner or this and that. But you should definitely do something that, makes you feel like you're giving back, or something that, like, makes you feel great about doing what you do.
About yourself?
Yeah.
And whole?
Yes.
I'm the same way where, like, I knew at a very young age that I wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And I remember taking this test in high school, and you fill out all these questions, and at the end it tells you, like, what field you'd be good at. Or, like, what kind of person, what kind of worker you are. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think I know what test you're talking about.
I swear, I think I was the only one in my class that got helper. And I felt like, okay, so I'm the help. Like, I was like, what does that mean?
You're like, boo me.
I knew that I couldn't be a nurse because I hate blood and I hate
Yeah,
needles. So
yeah.
I was like, what else is there? Like, how else do you help, you know?
Yeah.
And so I got into, like, aesthetics, skincare, because my mom did.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, this is a good way. It's, like, so on the surface,
Yeah, well,
first off. But, I mean, it was a place to start.
To be honest with you, a lot of people come to you because if you feel good on the outside, come on now. You know you're going to be able to walk out into the world feeling A1.
$1 million.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you do that for people, just like how barbers do it, any type of, somebody that helps you feel good on the outside and be able to like walk in confidence outside there. You know what I mean? So I like that. I love coming to get facials by you because one, it's very soothing. It's, you know, like you just have somebody take care of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People don't expect it. But yeah, totally.
I actually fell asleep, you know, like it's almost like a state of meditation, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, massage too. It's the same exact thing. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to get some knots out, but it's so healing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Like when you feel, you know, like the stress in people's bodies, you know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of people, they do just come get a massage just to sleep. Like they just want to get on the table just to sleep because maybe they have insomnia, you know what I mean? Maybe they're depressed, you know, anxiety, any type of inner emotions that they can't deal with. They just need a rest, you know?
So do you feel like people come to you because they need to escape the matrix? They need that escape from whatever's going on in their life? Can they come to you and seek like a safe haven?
I want to say yeah. You know, I mean, you know, it's nice to like hear somebody say like, oh, you're my escape or something. But it's more like, you know what, I think you just need to take this moment to like really get in touch with your spirituality because that's what Eastern medicine really does. You know, it's body, mind, and spirit. You know what I mean? So take that time, you know, and I feel like when I am doing a massage and when people do ask for a deep tissue massage, the pain kind of brings them back to that surface and be like, oh, I'm here. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Wow. But yeah, like to get in touch with your spirituality, and I love that people come to me just to tell me like, you know what, my mind feels like it's somewhere else. You know, like I really needed this hour or hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. And I don't know, I admire people that do take at least an hour of their day or month or whatever for themselves. I mean, because how are you going to heal your insides or yourself and go out into the world?
Because the vessel and the soul and the spirit is like connected, right? Because I know you're working on the body and they leave feeling so much better. I mean, sometimes they're like beat up, right? They feel beat up right after because they got some stuff that needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
How does that connect? For you or for your clients?
Okay, so I guess in my own experience, because you know, that's all I can really talk about, is that okay. So for me, it's kind of hard getting a massage. All right, in a way, I take a different approach on how I take care of myself. So for me, I basically go to this place called Float. And like I just sit in a tub or like this egg looking thing.
So this is an actual place.
Yeah. Float in Carlsbad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they like, it's like a whole
Float
serenity.
therapy.
Yeah. And you're just floating in this, you know, water filled with bath salt Epsom salt.
Himalayan salt.
Right, Himalayan, you know, whatever. And at first, like, I didn't think I was going to be able to relax or get comfortable because, I mean, you know, one, you're butt naked in this egg, like, you know, wondering if someone's going to walk in. I don't know, that's kind of the way my mind works out. But,
Like I'm alone and I'm waiting any second for someone to come you know, bust in.
Right.
Wrong pod.
You're like, oh, crap. But no, actually, after a few minutes, I was able to escape my mind, you know, and I kind of feel like the connection with your, I mean, you said spirit and vessel, right? Your vessel is your body, right?
Yep.
So, when you escape your body or your vessel, I want to say, like, feelings kind of go away. You know, you're not really worried about too much because that's kind of what your body, your skin really does. It's like, it kind of like, it just shows, it's the face of the pain, I feel like. And
kind of holds on to everything.
Yeah, you know,
that tension.
And once you know, that there's more than just your body, more than just feeling like you're free, you know. I mean, like we said earlier, like this is not just your identity.
Mm-hmm.
This thing that we've been working on
mm-hmm.
of who we think we're supposed to look like or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's not our identity.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more, y'all. Like, really. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm not the only one.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, it's really overwhelming. And, you know, I'm not going to say, like, oh, like, I'm at that stage. You know, I really am still working on things, you know, for myself.
Because it's like literally a never-ending journey.
Yeah, it is a journey. You're right.
Once we get to the next phase, it's like, okay, well, what's next?
Yeah.
We always have to be working on something, no matter how far we get. When we think we made it, because we made it past that finish line. There's going to be another one,
mm-hmm.
and another one, and another
mm-hmm.
one, and it goes as deep as lifetimes.
Yep.
This person who you are, I am you too.
Mm-hmm.
I am the person next to you. I am the next person, my neighbor, the stranger.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going through this cycle of experiencing different narratives.
Yep. I mean, like you said earlier, we're all just like a reflection of each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know how people say, like, oh, what you give, you get?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of true. But honestly, whatever...
Those tests.
Yeah.
Like when someone tries you and you don't understand,
mm-hmm.
you're thinking, what the hell did I do to this person?
Yeah, you start blaming yourself, right?
Yeah, you're thinking in your head, like, what the hell did I do to deserve this treatment?
Yeah. And
but
then
it has nothing to do with you. It's that other person. But you're feeling
mm-hmm.
that because we're just reflections.
Mm-hmm.
It's that energy.
I think we always, like, forget to remember that what the other person is really going through and how they react to people. I mean, we were there too. But we always forget and be like, okay, you know what? That person's actually going through something. So
mm-hmm.
let them have that space. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, we're only human. Of course we're going to fucking forget so many things. It's like, I mean, with ego, you know, like ego really blocks us from really understanding anger.
Ego is so toxic.
Mm-hmm.
And so many people are so trapped inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, that could be another reason why people react the way that they do. And it's like people who sit with themselves are left with questions or even seeing, you know, the reflection side of things. But those people who are so trapped in the ego, it's like they probably don't even know why they're so upset.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were like this when they were younger, but I felt like when I was a kid, I was so angry all the time, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably goes back to, like, you know, childhood trauma of, like, you know, I'm not going to say my family was perfect, but, you know.
No family is.
Yeah, no family is, you know, but it's just, like, always those little things that it kind of wires your brain into, you know, putting those defenses up. And that's kind of how I felt like I was when I was a kid. Just always, like, a rock. Like, you know, just, like, I was just, like, I had to be angry. I had to be a bitch. Like, you know. Mm-hmm. Sorry to my younger self, but you were a bitch. Like, you know.
Yeah. It's like protection.
Yeah, it really is.
You're protecting yourself from your outside elements, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. And, you know, I do have a really hard time, like, nowadays. Like, really what keeps me up at night is how I treated people when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. Like, I have, like, so much guilt and shame for what I did, you know, and I'm really not proud of it. I still am not, you know. But when I do have those, like, thoughts running through my mind of what I did, mm-hmm. I really, like, try to, like, forgive myself. I'm like, you know what, that's not me anymore. But what also keeps flipping through my mind is, like, but those people don't know that. they don't know that I'm a different person. So everybody has that.
They just remember the way you made them feel.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm sorry. I really am for anybody that I've hurt ever. You know, I'm still working on me, and, you know.
It's never ending.
I'm a different person now. I'm a different person. And I can say that I am happy. I'm very happy with, you know, how I am turning out. Like, where I'm heading. You know? Not every day is easy, but I'm making it for myself. I'm trying to make it, you know? Through massage, connecting with people is great, you know?
Because then you realize, like, I'm not just, I wasn't the only person to do this, to experience this, to make this mistake. And then you start to heal those people.
Yeah.
And what you realize is you're like, holy shit, I'm healing myself while healing this other person. It's a connection. So both of you guys get something out of it.
I mean, that's, I feel like what we're all trying to head towards is being at that stage to where we are able to give that light to people, like kind of like guide people into trying for themselves, you know, like just try.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And accept your mistakes and accept that you're human.
Yeah.
I'm human. I made a lot of mistakes today. I said a lot of bad words. You know, it's like, it doesn't matter. It does matter what your actions are. It matters. But once you accept them, you look in the mirror and you work through it, it's the acknowledgement.
Yeah.
It's the acknowledgement so that you can work on it, but also let it go. Like, let go of the guilt. The guilt and the shame and, you know, just giving yourself a hard time.
It becomes an accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, do you ever ask yourself, like, what did I accomplish today? Yeah.
Kinda, yeah, kinda. I do like my highs and lows. My accomplishments would be my highs.
Yeah.
Some days, and then some days it's just like someone being nice to me when I need it, you know?
Yeah.
Reaching their hand out for me when I need it.
We definitely shouldn't try running away from our lows, though. You know what I mean? It's okay to feel like
Isn't it crazy how easy it is to forget all of the work you've done?
it is, dude.
Oh my God. Especially with this Mercury retrograde, I just gotta say, I fucked up. I fucked up. And it's like, thanks to you. I love you. You are such a good friend. You give me the reminder. You're like, you asked me those questions. And it's like, literally, it's like as if I'm talking to myself in a mirror. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to realign myself.
Yeah.
Because today is a new day.
All you needed was just that confirmation, reassurance from somebody else that you already knew about.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, okay, hold on, let me plant this back in her head because she's over here trying to erase it out. You know? Yeah. And that's kind of what is great about opening up to if you are having a hard time, you know?
Yes, that is why it's so important to have your authenticity and a certain level of like rawness to yourself. And you know what? That's a big problem with social media too. It's like we're all putting on a show of our best selves, and that's not always us.
Yeah.
That is most certainly not always us. And honestly, I have become very unattracted to social media. I am now like only solely on Instagram and sometimes Snapchat, you know, when we're being silly, but
I'm on Instagram for the memes.
for the memes, she said it. And Reddit.
You know, I mean, I don't post a lot, you know, I don't know why, but I started thinking differently about posting my life because sometimes I feel like I'm lying.
Exactly.
Like, you know?
Or it's just like, who actually needs to see this?
Yeah.
Am I just making someone who's having a bad day feel terrible because I'm always posting the highs of my day? Sometimes they're not even highs.
Yeah.
You know, when you like take photos or videos of you being so happy, but it's like, are you really happy? Are you really happy, or are you just putting on a front?
Yeah.
Like, how can this person be this happy all the freaking time? And you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with me.
It's the standard that a lot of people are like putting us at, is like, yo, this is what your life is supposed to look like, you know.
Yeah.
Run away from the depression, run away from, you know, isolating yourself.
Avoid. Exactly.
It's like, no,
distractions.
Make sure you feel those things. That was your neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's angry, dude.
Is that my door?
No. Happy Halloween. No, just playing.
Holy fuck. Talk about bad energy.
Yo.
We don't piss someone off right now.
Real. I mean, that happens when people are just doing them. You know? Anyway.
We are always protected. We sage this space, so all that noise is out there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I feel like we're talking normal. I mean, like, does this normally happen in your...
No, that never happens.
Girl, you just freaked me out. Somebody better not try to bust through that door right now. You know how, like, when you find your light, and then, like, all those things are trying to, like, feed off of it, so you always keep meeting people that are not meant for you. You know? That happens to me a lot.
Like, it's almost like darkness follows you.
And I've been told by this, I mean, one of my clients that I used to have, you know, she was very into numbers. Okay, she's, like, really smart, like, into numbers, like, notices patterns, like, you know,
synchronicity.
I think that was, like, basically her job. Like,
wow.
She worked on technology and stuff like that. Something with software. But, yeah, no, she was very into, like, the astronomy, or is it astrology? Sorry.
Is she the one, like, did your birth chart?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, that was deep.
At first, I felt weird giving her my birthday and birth time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know,
you're like, I am not giving her my social.
Exactly. But, you know, that's the whole thing with trusting people, you know, it takes its toll. But, she came back genuine.
Right.
But, she actually is the one who took my whole chart, and she told me that there is, like, darkness that follows me, you know? And she was like, oh, you cheated death so many times, like, you know.
Wow. And
then I was just, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, should I face that darkness? What do you think?
I think it was just knocking on your door right now.
You ain't welcome, but maybe next time, you know?
Yeah, it's like the things you got to go through to grow through yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Through yourself is so hard. It's just the language of it, like saying, even going back to Instagram, even with all those little posts, you know, those positivity quotes, like, it's so easy for us to share that and to think, yes, I believe that, but it's about our actions and making, like, the right choices, even though sometimes they're the hardest.
Yeah. I mean, just be about it, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard because it's changing. Sometimes you're breaking a pattern within yourself. And we have so many patterns and so many cycles that we grew up in and we learned, you know, it's learned behavior, and it's fucked us all up. If you're an adult, you're fucked up somehow. Okay? None of us are normal. Nobody. So you can pretend, you know, that everything's okay, but there's something,
that mask.
There's something up with all of us, you know?
Yeah. And it's okay.
And it's okay because we're supposed to go through that kind of stuff. That's what we're here for.
I mean, I remember you saying that you did shadow work, right?
Yeah.
How is that going?
It's hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Because, again, it goes back to the thing where it's like you have this awareness. Like, you know, like I know when I'm acting up or when I'm triggered by something and I want to react. I want to go run my mouth. I want to go off on someone. You know what I mean? I want to go knocking on doors. I want to go knocking on doors.
Yeah. You really had to give me those eyes, like.
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
Might happen later tonight, coming soon. I'm just kidding.
I love you. And I got my bodyguard with me.
Hey, I'm reformed. No, I am a protector, no doubt. You know, especially.
It is a full moon tonight. Full moon in
emotions
Aries.
might go wild for sure. You know, but I did just get off of work, so I'm just a little tired. I might get my ass kicked, but who knows? You know? So.
But no, like I have that awareness, and so it's like I am even more accountable, or at least I have that expectation of myself.
Okay.
Now more than ever, and that right there alone is the hardest part, because this is where the path splits, where it's like, am I going to do something positive for myself? Am I going to be a more positive person? Am I going to handle this better than I want to right now? Or am I going to be the same old self and go and you know, run amok? And sometimes we take 2 steps back.
Mm-hmm. So you're staying in the fork in the road or whatever.
Fork in the road, yeah. And I'm saying that shadow work is part of, there's having that awareness of shadow work is just the half of it. The action is the finish line. And now that I know that, and I know when I'm acting up, it is so hard, and I don't think it's ever going to be easy. I think that, like we were saying, like our journeys, our never-ending journeys, I really think it's a never-ending journey, and I really believe that we have a certain level of trauma that is embedded in us that is going to be a never-ending journey. It's constant work, just like our muscles.
Yeah, exactly.
If we stop working out, what's going to happen?
Well, they're going to kind of deteriorate a little bit.
They're going to deteriorate. You know. You're going to have no muscle. You are not going to be flexing.
Every day is a test.
Yep.
Okay.
Every day is a test. And it goes back to your massage too. Mm-hmm. If your clients don't go back to you every month and they're still using those muscles, what's going to happen?
Honestly, they come back stiff, sore, complaining, angry.
The same as they came to you in the first place, right?
Yeah. And really, though, I have had clients that, you know, they're very consistent with their massages, which, you know, something I definitely admire. Mm. You know, taking care of yourself is a big priority. It should be, right? Mm-hmm. But you can, like, notice a result in their attitude, in the way that they carry themselves. You know, it's because they're consistent with the routine of, I'm here for me, you know?
It becomes a fluid energy.
Yeah.
The shadow work, the massages, the consistency, the facials.
Stretching and drinking water.
She's saying that for a reason. She's like, do it because I can feel when you're not doing it.
Like, look, stretching, it just helps a whole bunch with mobility, circulation, and also it's that little tiny meditation time. I don't know. It just brings you to your body, even like with a cold shower. Mm-hmm. I literally take cold showers every day. I mean, after a hot one. You know, but
dude, that sounds worse.
Well, after
that sounds worse
after I take my good spa shower with the steam and everything.
Yeah.
For like the last 5 minutes of my shower, I turn it all the way to cold, and it brings you back to your body. Like really, it brings you back. Yeah. You know, I don't even know if that's a good thing, but you know, it's like it just keeps
How good is it?
It just keeps you present, like in your
I got
now.
all this stuff to work on again.
You know.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that thing.
Like, you know, it's crazy because we always keep learning about something new. Like, oh, I never heard about that. Yeah. But now I want to work on that. You know, and it's things that we also bury away that we don't even face in our everyday life. Mm-hmm. Just things keep coming up new, you know? It's just
trying new things.
Yeah, every day there's something to do.
I love that. Like, I didn't even know that you do the float therapy. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I love that. It connects to massage.
Yeah, you know,
the cold shower connects. Yeah. It's just all these extra things that, like, we should really be trying.
Yeah. I didn't know about float, you know? Like, I mean, I knew about baths, but I like taking showers, not baths, you know. But float, you know, like they also do that for therapy. It's to help you feel reborn, you know, which.
What do you mean reborn? What do you mean by that?
What I mean by reborn is that, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel when you wake up every day?
When I have a good night's rest,
Okay.
I feel refreshed.
Exactly.
I feel ready for the day. I feel like I have a new beginning.
That's how it feels. I mean, you know, you kind of just feel stripped away of things that are so small to stress over. You know, and it, honestly, like one of the bigger things that we don't recognize is that the stress from the outside of us, you know, we're kind of like punching bags, so we kind of take all that shit in. We take that beating. So we kind of forget about what's happening with our physical here, even with our spirit, even with our minds, because we're on not a Ferris wheel, but we're kind of just like being like robotic, you know, like not really thinking of how the Ferris wheel is actually functioning, or, you know, like how it's being taken care of, like is it being oiled up, or you know, things like that. So I think like the first step to, before you start taking care of yourself, because I know it's really hard for people, I'm not gonna lie, like even for me it is, you know, is to just kind of practice being mindful. Mindful in everything.
Oh my God.
Mindful in everything.
And setting aside time for self. I mean, I'm a mom, so that's like especially hard for me.
You better tell those mamas, girl.
Ladies.
Yeah, come to me too.
Seriously, you won't be
you know.
disappointed. She's amazing.
Thank you.
Magic hands.
Thank
magic
you.
hands.
I appreciate that.
It comes naturally. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's why you're so busy.
I mean, my clients definitely boosted my ego, but, you know, I'm still staying humble because I know there's a lot more things I need to learn, a lot of different bodies I'm connecting with, you know. Everybody's different. Everybody also does have a preference, and, you know, like, it is hard for me to connect with people if they're not really about it. You know, and that's kind of...
So, if they're closed off, like, spiritually or, like, mindfully?
It
like
kind of connects both.
Right. All of it. You can feel when they're blocking something.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, you know, like, if they're just, like, laying on the table and they're just, like, you know, kind of just, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain.
Well, yeah, they're not letting you...
Yeah, I'm like, yo, let this
That's
energy
crazy.
Coming from the ground, like, fill you.
That's crazy.
You know? Yeah.
How, like, mentally blocking and, like, hiding your authenticity can translate into, like, literally, like, tension in the body.
And it does come from trauma, because I don't really know what those people really went through.
Right. And trust issues.
And trust, yeah, exactly. And, you know, there are some people who, you know, don't like being touched because of something that did happen, you know, so I completely understand that. But the fact that if they even wanted to get a massage by me, like, I appreciate that. Like, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for, you know, inviting me into, like, your care, you know, like, I really appreciate that. Just having me there, because, you know, I'm a bitch that fucking loves caring, apparently. So.
Dude, it's one of the most vulnerable settings. When you're in a massage, you're stripping down.
It is.
And you're trusting a person to, like, properly drape your body and, like, handle with care.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so, so intimate. And also, let's talk about, like, a dark space and what that does for you spiritually. I feel like once I started working in a dark room with one person for an hour of just me and that person, and no, like, music with lyrics or anything, just, like, tunes, you know, I feel like that's when I really started to pick up energy. I've even seen, like, auras, not with everybody. It's weird. It's like, I can't tell when it presents itself. I don't know when or how or why, but every once in a while I can see auras too. And it's like, I feel as though if I didn't get into this industry, and if I didn't have all that time that I've had with individuals, with so many individuals in a dark, quiet space, maybe I wouldn't have this connection that I have with source and the universe and God. Because, I mean, I feel like you're also very, very in tune spiritually and like energetically with other people. And is it a coincidence that you and I both seeked out helping others at young ages and, you know, being healers and working with other people? Is it a coincidence?
I don't really believe in coincidences.
Me either.
You know?
What is that word even? What does it even mean?
I don't know. Comment down below. No.
Yeah. What does coincidence mean to you?
Yeah, for real.
Also subscribe and like this video if you're resonating and feeling this right now.
Yeah, no, I don't really believe in coincidences. You know, like the fact that I went to a school just that has massage therapy, I was like, what? Like, you know, like it was meant to be there. It was meant to be there. I'm meant to be here. You're meant to be here. You're meant to be doing this.
Right here,
you know
right now.
I mean?
I totally believe that. And I feel like even working in the space where I'm at brought me, guided me to this too. Like there's so many aspects, of course, as you know, like I could go on and on about it, but that I feel like is also a very large part as to why I'm here and hosting this specific themed podcast, invoking like freedom of thought and speaking on topics that, you know, don't exactly have proof, but the sense of knowing is there.
Everybody got that intuition, that little gut feeling of like, yo, I know there's more, you know, like.
Exactly.
It's so crazy because it usually happens during suffering. Yeah. You know, it's like you're that little seed in that dry motherfucking dirt. And then it starts pouring rain, and then you start thinking like, okay, this is my life. Then that little root comes out, and you're just like, oh, I didn't know I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's got to have that. I'm sorry to say, but everybody,
to something.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does have to have that. Like, I'm sorry to say, but like small suffering. Is that bad to say?
Well, no, because look at the reward at the end of it.
Yeah. I feel so bad for saying that, you know, but it's the honest truth. It's
real.
Yeah.
That's truth in itself. It's like, you gotta suffer a little.
Yeah, and just remember, it's okay to feel.
Absolutely.
Those feelings are there because you're facing that little darkness.
Exactly.
Or that big darkness, however you want to, you know, put it as. You know, and like I said to my younger self is, you know, you're not alone, you know, and there is somewhere for you. And you're going to keep hitting those fire walls that keep burning you, but you got to get through it, you know, like you literally get through it because the situation on this planet right now isn't really about just you. You know?
That is not why we're here.
Yeah. And, you know, like, that's why a lot of people say, like, you know, give to the world, give to the world, give to the world, because this world is what's going to be making us, making you, you know what I mean?
We're all connected.
Yeah.
We're all connected. That's why it's so important to understand everybody. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And sometimes you won't understand everybody, because that is my issue, is like,
hell yeah, that's why it's so hard.
You. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's so hard.
And, yeah, you know, it's also the point of just accepting the fact that you don't understand. You know, because
exactly.
To me,
agreeing to disagree.
Yeah, to me, I really thought, I mean, a big part of me is a logical person, you know, to the point where I couldn't make sense of a lot of things, you know, like every time I, you know, had a relationship with somebody and I'm just like, I don't fucking get you, like, you know, like, my sense was just like, oh, everybody has to be a good person, everybody has to be perfect.
Ugh, that word makes me cringe.
Yeah. And that was my, like, honestly, that's where I need to do a lot of growing, which I have, because I just learned to accept that, you know, like, not everybody is going to be the same, and, you know, everybody does go through their own phases, and you just kind of got to let them be.
Yeah, exactly. Let them be. And one thing that I've learned definitely from my failed relationships is you can choose to leave not understanding that person and having that space of blame and like they're wrong and I'm right. But what you'll realize is you're going to go into the next relationship with the same problem because it takes two.
Yeah,
it takes two.
Yeah.
And there's the other perspective from your failed relationships where you can think and contemplate, like, what can I learn from that? Like, what can I learn about myself from that relationship? What can I learn about that person as far as like what they're going through, what their trauma is, what different path they might be taking, and treating that failed relationship still with love. You can go your separate way, but as long as you still have that love and you're not harboring any negative emotions, you're setting yourself free.
Forgive.
Yeah.
Forgive.
Because again, it goes back to the reflection. That person at one point in time is going to be you. I mean, not in this lifetime. That's like super deep. The whole like traveling into different vessels and experiencing different narratives. But if one can grasp that, that's so important, I think, for at least my journey and where I'm at right now in my path. It might be confusing to some people, and that's okay, because it's like, so that's very out there. It's very deep.
It's not normal for a lot of people.
It's a very deep
I'm sorry, normal.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that
Boxed.
is. Yeah, whatever that is. Let's normalize weirdness. You know?
Honestly,
let's normalize weirdness.
I used to be so scared to like say anything because I'm like, I'm just weird. I don't think like other people.
Yeah, actually.
And then you start talking and you're like, wait, you think like that too?
Yeah. Communication is literally everything.
And then you discover new thoughts and you're like, whoa, that makes sense.
Yeah. Just the fact that you and I are like communicating, like we're taking in this information from each other. You know,
we're like, I feel like all of our chakras are like open. We're just like flowing.
I know
right now.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. We always do that.
Yeah, actually, I know. The other night we were just like talking for hours. My bad. I know you had to go to work the next day.
I was like falling asleep.
I know,
had one eye open.
I felt so bad. I was like, I'll fall asleep too.
I wanted to be there. No, don't be sorry. Seriously.
Okay. Yeah, and that's like me. My problem of being a people pleaser is just like, oh no, like, this person, you're hurting this person because she's trying to sleep, like,
exactly. No.
But
don't do it.
Yeah, my mind literally just keeps overthinking how I didn't help this other person when in a way, like, it was chill, like it was fine. And
overthinking. Yeah. I feel like that's a healer thing.
Yeah, it's like a blessing and a curse kind of thing.
Definitely a blessing and a curse, because I'll be finding out some truths about some people just by overthinking, and it's like this wildest thought ends up being true, and you find out about it later in like the news or something heavy, and it's like, I knew it.
Oh Lord, girl. That is so funny, because like that's what they do say about overthinking, is that it's not necessarily bad and it's not necessarily good. Because
to a certain
that
degree.
Overthinking kind of like picks up on some factual stuff and then like some intuition, but then again, it's not really healthy for us in a way.
If it's
because we're kind of just waiting for this anticipation of being right.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get caught up in the mess of which way, which one is right, which direction, which thought is right.
Yeah, you're like, oh, maybe this and or maybe that. Like,
yeah. Should I go off on him right now? I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
Should I send this text, God? Okay.
Yeah, dude, that's kind of me. Like, if I'm in a drive-through or something, I'm like, how am I gonna give the card to somebody? Like, am I just gonna be like, or just be like,
how?
Here you go, or just like just like, hi. Like, yeah, that's kind of just the little curse of overthinking.
The little
just
things.
The littlest things. It's not even that serious.
Yep. Like, what am I gonna wear right now? I was like, okay, good. We're both wearing black.
Yeah, no,
Who cares?
I had to change because I didn't like wearing my working clothes, Like, I don't know, I always feel gross.
I'm sure you absorb a lot of energy.
Yeah, actually, and that's kind of why I always like try to like right when I get home from work, I'm literally just fucking, oh shoot, I'm literally just like, all right, clothes off,
It
like,
needs
you
to
know,
come
go
off.
shower, like, you know,
Shower.
girl, yeah, it's so.
Sometimes you can't scrub enough.
Yeah.
Damn, this was a bad day.
Yeah, yeah, you do hold a lot of energy because you know, in massage therapy, like, people who I connect with, or people who are comfortable with me, even sometimes people who just want to talk, whether they're angry, sad, for sure, you're just like listening the whole time, you know, and then you kind of start relating, you know, you're just relating,
That connection.
and then you just start feeling like the connection is like feeling their energy, like, you know, like
You are embodying their emotion.
and you know, compassion is always a great thing, you know, like, not silver lining anything. You know, always try to bring yourself down with that person so that you can connect, you know,
And bring them back
yeah
up. What's dangerous about that, though, is that sometimes you give all your energy to them, and then by the end of the day,
there are soul suckers.
you're just like...
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel like after a massage or after I work. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have eaten mac and cheese. I'm over here like, I'm over here like gassing it up, not out here, but I meant just burping, but
You eat that mac and cheese, girl.
it was bomb, girl. But anyway,
If you like mac and cheese, like and subscribe to this video.
right? Costco brand, by the way. Costco made.
The Panera one's bomb too. Just...
Yeah. But yeah, like it could be dangerous for sure. And that's probably why I do like a lot of my alone time. Like, I'm not even kidding to you, right? When I'm done with work, and I feel like a lot of people are like that too, with whatever work they have, unless you work alone, as in on the computer or something. I don't know. It's just like, yeah, you do feel like a whole bunch of energy came out of you, and having your alone time, you know, you fill your own cup. Like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's kind of bad because I have to go home to somebody, and you know, they have like all their energy, and like if I have an empty cup, I can't give the same. I'm not trying to take yours either because I know how that feels. So
and that's that healer in you and that overthinking. Because naturally, people are going about their day and they're like, "Damn, I'm just tired." You know, like that's it. They're not thinking any deeper than that. But it's so important to do that.
Mindfulness.
It starts somewhere.
Yeah. It's crazy though, because you could be mindful, but that doesn't mean somebody else is.
Exactly.
And that's hard.
And when you share space
Yeah.
with people like that, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because they don't even realize what they're taking from you.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, like,
The trip.
yeah. It's a lot of pressure, for sure.
It's just the art of balance. I feel like that empaths and healers really have to practice and be extra conscious about, because we have that extra level of awareness and consciousness and mindfulness. So knowing when is a good time to kick back, be by yourself, and when you have the energy and the focus to tend to others is so crucial, because then you just will experience burnout too soon.
Yeah.
Very easily. It's so easy to experience burnout.
That's what happened when I was working for a company. Like, you know, and don't get me wrong, like, I really appreciate that company for,
Right, of course.
you know, like, taking me in, especially when I was, like, brand new, fresh out of, you know, school. Was that dude I worked there for, like, 6 years or something. And for me, like, I knew that wasn't just it. Like, I was just like, I know there's more that I can do. Instead of waking up every morning and feeling tired of what I was doing I don't know. Like, what was I going with this again?
Mac and cheese.
That's our safe word. Yeah, no, I mean, I was burnt out, like, at that company. You know, I feel like I was getting burnt out on purpose to myself. I was doing it to myself because...
Do you think it was subconscious, maybe?
Yeah, because I didn't want to be there.
Like part of your alignment?
Yeah.
For your journey?
Yeah.
Because it's unique for everybody. Some people love that shit. They need that constant stimulation.
Yeah.
Of having, you know, just that busy schedule and the team.
Yeah.
Working around people
constantly. Oh, yeah, for sure. I actually miss a lot of my friends there. Like,
I'm sure they miss you too.
I think that was probably like the best part, was going on break time and eating with, you know, like having that break time with your friends there. And it was always the same people, and I loved it. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But then, like, it's like, oh, food is done.
But for you, there was the scales were imbalanced, so you had to make certain changes to balance it back out.
Yeah, girl, I was all about work, like, just all about work. I really felt like I was a robot. And it's crazy when you find yourself being conscious and being like, this is not me.
Yep. You start being true to yourself.
Yeah.
Like you probably thought before you were true to yourself, but then you get to know yourself a little bit deeper.
Well, yeah, I was really young when I started. Like, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but you know.
Back in my day.
Back in like 1984. No, I'm just like, yeah, no, I mean, I was young, you know, obviously fresh out into the world. Like, during those times, I was just partying. I didn't really know what my life was really about, you know, like, because how I grew up, you know, my dad's a workaholic, okay, and so is my grandma, his mom. I wasn't really too close with my mom's side of the family, because they live all the way out in Micronesia, you know. But yeah, like, just from my dad being a workaholic and my mom also going to work too and being a mother, I felt like that's how life was supposed to be. Like, all right, you're gonna have a good life by working your ass off. That's kind of it. That's just life. And like, no, that's not where I just wanted my life to go. It's not just about work.
And so you kind of changed a certain system and within your family by going your own way, which I don't know did your parents support that? Did they not even really know of that during your transition?
No, they didn't know.
Sometimes that's safer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I moved out of the house like when I was like 19 or something. And, you know, like right after I moved out, I was like, oh, this world's mine. You know, I didn't really have to like report to my parents anymore, but, you know, I would still go to them for advice. But the first time I ever had a personal client, I don't even remember, it was like a long time ago, but it was thrilling. I was like, I don't gotta report to nobody. You know, like, it's just me.
You're like, I could put this essential oil in, nobody's gonna know.
You know?
I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. Like, you know, it was thrilling. So then, like, yeah, after that, I just kept pushing myself more.
You felt that freedom more.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think about freedom, because I'm just like, where is my freedom?
What is freedom to you? What is freedom to each person?
What is freedom to you? What do you think? When you close your eyes and think about, like, peacefulness, freedom, what does that entail?
Freedom to me means, for one, no judgment, and authenticity. No matter in any part of my life, no matter how opposing it is to society. Like, if I don't want to ever be married again. Like, that should be okay. If I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want to work for a company, that
Yeah.
should be okay.
Yeah.
Even like, I'm not saying that I'm polyamorous, but like polyamorous people, like that to me is freedom, because they're being so authentic and true to themselves, regardless of judgment. And I think that when you follow that authenticity, you start to feel more free, because you are identifying with your truest self, regardless of these foundations that someone told us that we all have to follow. So freedom to me is
I mean, you.
not following the matrix, honestly.
Yeah. The
Like,
game. Stepping out of the game.
Not stepping out of the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like,
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that today. Like, what is freedom to me? And every time I think about it, I'm just like, well, one, what I'm doing now with owning my own, or in the progress of, you know, building my business of massage therapy, like, that's my freedom. And also, definitely being authentic. But yeah, it basically is stepping out of the game, because I was just literally talking about being a robot, you know. But just as long as I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and also freedom is out of debt, you know. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
In this
yes.
game, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be out of debt,
Yeah.
or else they will come
You're
after you.
responsible with your credit cards. Pay off all your loans. Because once you do that, you do feel more freedom.
I know, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I just paid off my car.
That's what's up. Round of applause, everybody.
What am I doing? These are violins. This is an exciting moment, not a sad
I was like, why is she pinching air nipples right now? Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that what goes through my mind on the way over here. Just like, what is my freedom? Like, Laniz is free doing her thing, and I'm really happy for you. Like, this, what you're doing right now is making me really happy. Like, your first episode was on point. I always tell people, like, yo, her first episode was dope. Like, y'all should watch it. Like, you know, whenever they ask me, like, oh, what was she talking about? I'm like, well, basically, like, her own experiences. And that's something that everybody really needs to open up about.
Absolutely.
You know, gain some knowledge from digging in yourself, and then taking that information from somebody else. Like, you know.
Sharing it.
Yeah,
being vulnerable.
Communication, y'all. Like,
some of the, like, deepest feelings that, like, are eating us away, when you share it, it's actually very liberating, because you discover that so many other people feel the same exact way. And that shit could bring tears to my eyes, you know? It's really cool. Not just for me, especially for others that, you know, have reached out to me and thanked me, connected with me, related to me.
that type of stuff really boosts your ego, though, right?
It does. It does. It does boost my ego.
It's not bad. Obviously,
it's motivating.
Something that is needed for security of what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, because
I definitely, one thing about spirituality, and I've had even a person, like almost a year ago, tell me that like, oh, since you've been spiritual, like, you are just like self-righteous, and it's a misconception. It is a misconception, and it's two completely different realities, and that is judgment. That's judgment, and it's entrapment, and we get to choose, you know, where we focus, because when you put yourself out there, there's always going to be someone who's not going to like you, but you can't focus on that. You can't.
Yeah, it's really hard.
That was really hurtful for me. It was like, I felt like, felt that shit in my chest. Like, that's the last thing that I feel I am. But
just as
those
long
reflections,
as you're,
you know,
literally just as long as you're emotionally grounded and stable, for you really not to believe what they're saying, and actually recognize, like, you know what, you'll have your thing too. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, yeah, but
Perceptions are reflections of yourself. Focus on the light.
Just
On the light.
Yeah, just be safe with what you're doing. You know, communication in any work that you're doing is very helpful and reassuring, especially with, you know, like if I'm working on somebody, I need the communication if I'm doing okay, if I'm, you know, like meeting your, I guess, am I supporting you like in the way you need. But yeah, communication means everything. And it is scary to open yourself up to people like how I am now, because that little thing in your mind goes, this person, like, you know, if you're vulnerable, right? You're emptying yourself and putting it onto somebody else for them to know. And in a way, it's scary because they can use that to their advantage. You know,
and if they're not in a good space, then
yeah. And opening up is scary, but it's a lesson to learn from yourself, especially for me, because I always get anxiety whenever I do open myself up to somebody that I just met. You know, like I'd be on my way home just being like, oh, why did I say that? You know, like
you be calling me sometimes.
Yeah, dude, because it's just like, oh my God, I just gave somebody a part of me.
Yeah.
You know, and I shouldn't really be ashamed of myself. Like, I don't know why I do that to myself.
Ego.
Like, get out of my head, you know?
It's the ego, yeah.
Like, what am I trying to protect myself from? Being seen?
Being seen.
Like, isn't that what we all want? Is to be seen?
It's just scary to, like, trust somebody else with that truth, that information that you don't typically share every day. I hope that one day we can do that. We can all do that a little bit more comfortably and kind of break that stigma of, like, wearing this happy face mask all the time. And, like, I honestly cannot stand. I hate hearing this. Like, I also hate using that word. Oh my goodness, I said it again. I strongly dislike. Hate? Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh,
it just feels bad. I strongly dislike the whole, how are you?
Oh, small talk.
Yeah. Oh, because gosh. It's like on a really bad day, it's like I just want to say, like, do you really want to know? Yeah. Do you really even care?
I really said that to somebody. I really did say that to somebody. You know, when I was working at the front desk at the gym, people, you know, so many people come into the gym and be like, hey, how are you? You know, and I'm just like, do you want to know the real answer or do you want the superficial answer?
Oh my God.
And they were just like, they froze, dude.
Because it's true. They probably had a moment of relation, but they're like, holy fuck, she just said that.
Yeah. I was shocked that I said that to myself, or said that too, but at the same time, I was like, today I do not give a fuck. Like, you know, I was just in one of those times.
One of those days.
Like, you know, people love to see the real us, but hates to see what makes us fucking different.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. I love how you said that.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, authenticity, like you said, it does mean that we're free.
And when you start to open yourself up like that, you start to realize that you start to collect the people that are supposed to be around you with your alignment, and the ones that aren't just kind of drop off. It's so beneficial for us. In moments, sometimes we don't realize it. It can be really hard when you're stuck in that moment and you're like, that tug, that push and pull with whoever. I mean, friends, family members, other relationships, you know, like partners. It's not just all, you know, relationship based, like soulmate based. It's not just, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. It's in every single relationship. Can I open myself up? Can I be authentic? Don't think, can I? Just do it, and the right people will form. Gravitate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You'll have your own your own force field of people, of supportive energy. That's what's so important.
Yeah.
And that fear is limiting. Fear is limitation. Fear is limitation. Because you won't know until you just are authentic everywhere you go. This has been quite the journey, discussing healing on the massage level, physical level, soul level, mind level, and how we interact with people and our own inner child stuff. I mean, we dived into so much today.
Yeah.
Like always.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing your mind.
Thank you for
I'm so grateful to have you as my friend and to have you on. I believe that your truth and your narrative is going to inspire a lot of people.
I hope so. I hope I didn't talk all crazy, but...
Well, we are kind of crazy.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
That's okay.
I really appreciate you for listening and, having me here. And for any of the viewers that, find any interest in my story or my how my brain works,
So how can we find you? How can somebody find you if they would like to receive your service or even just chat with you? How can my listeners reach you?
So right now I'm mainly just on Instagram at OLA_therapy. And I have all the information there. You can message me on there. I have my number on there. So you can reach out, and the way that you book is just mainly get in touch with me in any way that you can. And if you do have, if you got a referral from me on here, just let me know that, because I definitely would like to know on how people are hearing about me. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. I'm going to drop her link down in the description box below too. So
Thank you for being with me today. If you felt this in your heart and your soul and your center, then please subscribe for more soulful messages. And most importantly, be somebody's angel today and share this episode. Until next time, Angelians, peace and love.